Good morning. Thank you for joining us for the Superintendent Search Ad Hoc Committee today. In attendance, we have Tara Kinsella and Stacy Hines from this district office, and then I'll go ahead and call the roll for the board members. Heather Raymond.
Here.
Sandra Ziem is also here. Jessica Brown is here, and we do have a quorum of the board. So we have a very short agenda, and we actually are kind of waiting a little bit for our consultant to join us. She's in another meeting with another one of our representatives from the city. We are mostly here to talk today line up our ducks in a row for our focus groups for next week. So does anyone on the committee or have any questions about what's happening or need a kind of a description? I guess, go ahead. Stacy?
I thought that I would send out a reminder to the central office group and a couple of the other groups that I recruited. I just wanted to be sure, that everyone remembered. I'm just trying to figure out the best timing. I don't think I'll send it out today. I thought maybe first thing Monday morning, the day before. I mean, yes. I could send it today. It's up to you.
I think that makes a lot of sense. So all of the meetings are on a single day. They're all happening on March 30th. And we do have 4 select groups, including the central office, a student-only group, the Nashua Teachers Union, and the ELL community, because they needed some special accommodations for translations and such. And the ELL community will be happening at the central office. So I'm guessing maybe Stacy, when you send that out to the central office staff would you also be willing to contact the Nashua, just give a reminder to the Nashua Teachers Union and
absolutely.
Also to the ELL group. If maybe Yenny could do that. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I actually, Yenny and I chatted yesterday, and she was, I'm sorry about that. And she was pleasantly surprised that each of her members wants to log on using the Zoom. So, yeah.
Excellent.
So she was delighted. And so I will work with Yenny to be sure that the reminder is sent to them as well.
Excellent.
I believe she has 6 participants.
Okay, and I have been in contact with the student activities director, and they coordinated having both from the, I'd just like to welcome Kathleen Williams from BWP and Associates.
Yep. Hi, everyone.
So I did have one question about one of the students on the student list needs a sign language interpreter. Well, who should we talk to coordinate that? That was the one item that I wasn't sure.
I'd be happy to follow up. I have to assume that would be either Bob Chopa, our student services director, or Marcia Bagley, our special ed director.
Okay, so if you wouldn't mind, I'll send you the name of the student and also the link from the student activities director who coordinated it, because I just wasn't sure exactly. I want to make sure that she had the accommodation she needs.
Absolutely. Sure.
So yeah, all right. So Kathleen, we just started 2 or 3 minutes ago. We were just recapping that we've got 4 select groups for our focus groups for next week. And Stacy is going to be sending out a reminder to the central office staff, the ELL group, and the Nashua Teachers Union. I'm going to be sending out a reminder to the student group, and
is there just one student group or 2?
So it's one student group, but it's a large group. So I think it actually is our largest group. I think it was the only one where we went over the 16 cap. I think there's 17 kids that wanted to do it.
Because Deb and I can each, we can each we're not going to be together. So she'll have focus groups, I'll have focus groups. So if you would like, you can split them up and she can have one group and I can have another.
So let me double check this list here. I think I might have scheduled another community group opposite the student group because I didn't realize I was very impressed with the response I got from the students.
That's amazing. That really is amazing because that doesn't always happen.
So I have another group of adults scheduled opposite that I think I have the student group with Deb and then another group study coming through at 2:30. That's at 2:30 in the afternoon with another group for you.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Okay.
We just want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give you kind of a recap. I won't put it on screen since it does share people's personal information, but I did make sure that it was shared with the staff. We have a full day, a slate for you, both you and Deb, all the way from 8:30 down to with lunch breaks and dinner break, all the way down to their small groups at 4:30, and then at 7 p.m. A large open forum group.
Yeah, that's very typical for us, Jessica.
Okay.
So that's not unusual. We get a couple time periods where we can clear our brains a little bit because it's a lot. It's a big day. So, but we're not accustomed to.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate it. That's what Stacy and I mentioned last week. We thought, man, that's going to be a long day, but we appreciate you plowing through.
We're ready for bed, I'll tell you, by the time it's over. Well, I'm ready for something else, but I won't mention that by the time it's over too. And it comes in a goblet.
Excellent.
Learned.
We've all been there. All right. So I guess the questions remaining. So the plan would be Stacy's going to do those small groups for a reminder. And then I also intend to send a reminder email on Monday to all the individuals. But I have had a good response for the RSVPs and all that kind of thing. There's only one outstanding person that I just haven't been able to get the right email address from them. And so one thing we didn't do with our initial list was put the organization that most of the people are connected with. So if I update that, can I just send that final copy to you on Monday? Would that be all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Very good. Heather, anything to add or questions? I don't know. You looked like you had a question. Maybe I just saw you move.
Oh, no. I know that Dr. Williams had an interview scheduled just prior to this, and I saw an email. Were you able to connect with that person, Dr. Williams?
Yes.
Oh,
I just finished connecting with that person, which is why I was a couple minutes late. So we were able to conduct all interviews with every board member last week. And then this week I was able to connect with the two other individuals, Jessica, that you had made mention to me. And so it's all good. And if there's anybody else that you want an individual interview with, you just let me know. Deb and I will work it out. But we're really good on that front. And yeah, we're really good. Got some really good information. What I'd like to see, while there are some differences, there's more consistency, which I think you as a board will really appreciate seeing. And then we'll see how the focus groups go, because that's always the wild card to see how those go. So.
Well, that's excellent. I think you're going to have a lot of passion in there. And honestly, I was so impressed with how many community members that we reached out with that were just like, yeah, absolutely. I would love to speak on behalf of my organization. So that's been really great, the response for that.
Yeah, that's great.
So I guess the next item of business would be the question. So we do have the survey open on our website. I don't
And
know.
you had on the first 2 days, I think Mary told me you had 1,200 responses. And I had wanted to get back to her this morning, but I was busy on the phone, so I wasn't able to do that. But you're getting good responses. So people
Good.
are interested in giving you feedback. So that's excellent.
Excellent. And that just to double check, the close date on that is April 1st and then, or April 2nd.
I think it's April 2nd.
Okay.
And I don't have my notes in front of me, but I believe it's April 2nd.
Okay. So it'll be midnight on April 2nd. And so I think that's the next step
Or
here.
yeah, let me look at my calendar here and I'll tell you specifically.
We should make mention of it Monday night under the liaison reports, just to
Absolutely.
remind anyone who's watching.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, the reminders are
It's
important. So yeah, definitely. I retweeted today the links, and I've also posted on the city's infrastructure. They're actually between division communication system that was established actually last year with the beginning of the pandemic. And then we've also sent it to all, obviously not only school district employees, but also to all employees in the city from the other divisions in the city. And we also sent it to the PTO presidents. We also sent it to the Interfaith Council. So we're trying, and also sent it to retired teachers. So we're trying to cast as wide a net as possible.
And you're doing a great job. It is April 2nd. Online survey closes after 2 weeks at midnight.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll do, we'll mention it on Monday at our full board meeting, and then the people will get, I'm sure, the focus groups will happen on Tuesday. Is that right? Yeah, on Tuesday. And then maybe, do you think on Wednesday we should do a district-wide email to say, hey, last chance?
If you'd like, you mean district-wide to all, not only staff, but families?
Yeah, on the Blackboard and all that kind of stuff, and say, hey, if you want to, this is your last chance.
It's closing.
Yeah.
Since you are having a board meeting Monday and you're going to share some information, I wasn't fully aware of that. Stacy, I told you I was going to send an updated report that we could post on the webpage. What I'll do is I'll send that so that if the board wants to provide that update at its board meeting, it can then too. I think that's a great time to make people aware. So I will put that together then this weekend. I was going to do it after the focus groups, but I'll just do it beforehand and to do another one after that. So take advantage of your board meeting and to make people aware this is what's been accomplished up to this point, and then you'll see what's yet to come. It'll be basically an updated calendar of sorts of what's gone on, the communication that's been occurring, so on and so forth. I'll make sure you get that before the board meeting. Then I'll write myself a note.
Okay. We have another board meeting on the 12th of April, so I was planning on bringing forth some of that information then. And then we have our board meeting with you guys, our special board meeting on April the 8th. So
right.
There are several opportunities for updates.
Yeah, I'll just do this one. This one won't be real elaborate, but it will be a great opportunity for you to give an update and for us to get it on the site. So that's great.
So once it's reviewed at the board meeting, I can follow up on Tuesday and have it posted on the website. How's that?
Perfect.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
And did I miss when you were talking about the focus groups? Are we having translators at any of the focus groups?
one of the groups is going to have probably multiple translators, I'm guessing. Is that accurate, Stacey?
Okay.
When I spoke to Yenny yesterday, she said that I believe it's both Spanish and Portuguese. So she will be handling that.
It's combined.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's combined. That's great.
And then,
And will you do me a favor? I understand that Zoom has the possibility, I haven't been able to vet this completely yet, and maybe the folks in your district would know this, particularly since they're accustomed to translating so much, where the translators who are online with Zoom can create breakout groups within the whole group while they're translating in real time. I am completely unaware of how to do that, and somebody had just mentioned it to me last week. Have you ever thought about using this tool? And I said, I didn't even know it existed. So maybe you can inquire of your staff if they have any idea, if they know what I just mentioned. I know nothing about it, but maybe they do, and that would be helpful.
So I'm very familiar with breakout rooms, Kathleen. But so are you saying that Zoom itself does an interpretation or just moving?
No.
Okay.
You can put a setting on Zoom that allows the interpreters, as I'm talking, to be translating in real time. I don't know how that would work, but somebody told me that they have used that before when we were talking about using translators, and I could not find anything on the Zoom site to do that, but maybe your folks might know.
I can certainly look into
something that might make it easier. I don't know.
I'll actually ask Yenny. I know
And
she uses Zoom all the time. She might be doing this already. So I don't know. I'll have to ask her.
Yeah, she might be. So but you have to set it up in advance of the meeting,
Okay.
is what I was told.
Okay.
And I'm not a Zoom aficionado to that degree, so maybe somebody else is.
That sounds really valuable. The other, so the other person, and that's what we were mentioning, Stacy's going to contact our Director of Student Services. We have one student group member who is going to need a sign language interpreter.
Right.
So I don't know if they're going to be in the room with, I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but we'll get that information to you as well before.
Did you say that was Deborah's group?
Yes.
Or mine? Okay, I will let her know.
That's with Deb's. I mean, I just assigned randomly, but
no, it's
you guys can
perfectly
swap
fine.
them out.
I just want to give her a heads up since she's not here, that there'll be a sign language interpreter there.
And what time is that student group happening?
That is at 2:30 in the PM.
Out of curiosity, is that American Sign Language?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe so. We actually do have a hard of hearing program here in the city that's pretty strong. We actually accept some students from out of district.
Yeah, my district in Illinois had a huge deaf and hard of hearing program, and everybody funneled their children to our school system. And we used American Sign Language. And in a district very similar to yours that I worked in, size and scope, we taught American Sign Language as a foreign language, which is the only district I've been associated with that's done that, which was really great too. My daughter actually wrote an appeal to the student government to get that going here in Nashua. Wow. So maybe that'll happen someday, because I think it's great. They did that at my university. You know, it was a reasonable size program in Lawrence, Kansas. Wow, that's great. Sorry, taking everybody off task there.
No, it's okay. I think it's always great when we can offer those kind of programs, specialized stuff. So I think so. Okay. So I guess the last thing is just to double check the calendar. Stacy, do you feel like you've gotten all your questions about the survey and the focus groups answered?
I think so. I think that's, if either you or Deborah learn exactly how many responses we've had in this first week from Mary, that would be great, because it would be, I think, a great way to prompt others. If you know, say, gee, we've already heard from more than 1,200 of you, we want to hear from each of you. And so if you could just let me know what the number is, that would help with my marketing.
Yep, absolutely.
Good.
Excellent.
And by the way, Stacy, I directed Cam, our technician, to address the matter that I didn't have much of a chance to get back to you that you sent me earlier.
Excellent.
So,
thank you. Thank you.
I texted her and I emailed her.
Terrific.
Right. So Dana or Tara, any questions at this point? No?
No,
Okay.
needs to all be lined up.
Excellent. All right. So I guess our next thing, that after these focus groups happen and we give the update to the board next week, our next item where we have to come together will be on April 8th.
All right, big day.
That'll be a big one. So do we have that in the calendar already, Tara? Is it some way, or we can, because that's going to be
April 8th.
April 8th in the evening, right, for the full board?
correct.
Are we still going to meet next week? Hold on the 1st at 10?
So that's what I was wondering. Do we need a meeting? Because at that point, all we have that's going on is the closing of the survey, which I think you guys do from your end, and then you analyze the data. So maybe we don't need to.
Yeah, it's scheduled to time out at that time. So it just is automatically taken care of. I think Mary has coordinated that with you, Stacy.
Yes.
Yeah, to close the survey. Yeah, after focus groups, we just need to, Deb and I need to pull our information together in a meaningful report for the board. And so that when it's posted on your website, people can read it and understand. And I will underscore again, no individuals are being attributed to any comments. So I try to tell everybody that while you see me typing or you hear that I'm doing something while I'm garnering your responses, I'm not saying so-and-so said this. And likewise, when I interviewed board members, tried to make that very clear. We want this to be, we want the information, we want people to feel safe. And by the way, I did tell all of you, at least I hope Deb and I told you, that board members are not invited to the focus groups. You knew that, right?
Yes, we were very careful to make sure that there were no board members involved.
Okay.
So,
yeah, okay.
excellent. So so there's no board members.
That can change absolutely the flow.
Yeah. So yeah, and we also put in the invitations a request for the people not to share the Zoom link and that kind of thing. Which I know that they'll be entering. I know that you're going to let them enter the room.
Right. We will have
anyway.
We have an administrative assistant and technician who will actually be assigning people to breakout rooms for the community forum, so it's more manageable.
Yeah.
Excellent. That sounds great. All right. So we've got April 8th at probably 6:30, 6 or 6:30. Is it? 7? All right, at 7. And then
we have, what do we have before that?
there's
We have
negotiations
with the NTU. So that usually lasts until 6-ish, 6:30.
Okay. So we're going to cancel our meeting for the 1st, let the thing close, then we'll get an update. Is there any reason that we need a daytime meeting on the 8th? Or will the update in the evening suffice?
Oh, yeah.
Kathleen?
Yeah,
Okay.
you won't need a pre-meeting for that.
Okay, excellent. So then if we want, we did have a tentative meeting then because we just had a recurring on the calendar for the 15th. Will there, at that point, once the information gets presented, and we just have for, I think, what is it, 1, 2, 3, for 3 weeks, the position is just open, the
Yeah, we're
posting's
getting
open.
applications.
Is there
Mhm.
anything at that point
Which
that,
we've already started to get.
Oh, that's good news.
awesome, that's fantastic.
No, that's just, that's just the kind of time that you're just, we're out there recruiting. We've got the
You're frozen there.
leadership that we're waiting for the right people to apply. And if we're not seeing the right people, we make sure we get the right people. So,
Well,
when we do both anyway. So I've already reached out. I know Deb and I have both already reached out to some individuals. So,
excellent.
and then of course, part of our process is asking for nominations, and we will not disclose who was nominated. That's confidential, but we reach out to every single person who someone says, I really think you ought to consider this person. And what we do is we try to reach out to them. Sometimes they don't call us back or respond to an email, and we'll say that during our community engagement process, your name came up. You are welcome to submit an application and go through that process. It doesn't guarantee an interview. Just you may apply, and part of the application is to see if they meet the requirements of a superintendent and in the state. So they'll go through that. But when people say, well, how do I know you asked somebody? I said, well, you won't know it from us, so you'll have to ask that person. And they can decide whether or not they wish to disclose that. And some people play it close to the vest. They don't want people to know they have applied, particularly if they don't get the position, and they don't want anybody, particularly if they're, let's say, local, they're even considering it, or their name was on a list. We take the confidential route pretty seriously to protect those individuals. So
I appreciate that very much. I think that's really good. And I think that's one of the great things about this is it takes that person, the direct connection with a board member or another administrator or something like that, and puts it in your hands, and also gives the privacy to the individual applicant.
yeah, for sure.
So that's excellent. All right. So I guess then for those 3 weeks, 15th, 22nd, 29th through the month of April, we're mostly going to be pretty good. Do you think, so we've got the first candidate presentation scheduled for the 6th of May for the slate. Do we need a meeting either the 29th or sometime that
Right,
week
we'll
or that
present
day?
the slate to you then.
Yeah, do we need to, is there
Yeah, and
anything that
then
the
we'll
committee?
provide a workshop.
Okay, so is there anything the committee needs to do between the 8th of April for the, when we do that, and through the 6th?
There really isn't. One of the, we can talk about it on the 8th, other possibilities, but really right now it's just letting the process get the applicants and letting us pull the leadership profile together and give you that quantitative and that qualitative data, which is so much more important than for your search. It really, did you reach all of your stakeholders, and what are their thoughts, because you'll hear so much more. And what you do with that is up to the board, but I think you're going to find it quite informative. You're going to find it quite informative.
I'm
Because there's
looking
this
forward to it.
category called other. Is there anything else that you think is important that hasn't been? And so people will weigh in there too. So we'll share all of that and talk to you about the next step. But really, then you're just letting the postings take place and people applying, and you can continue reaching out and letting, if you know of good candidates, say, hey, apply.
Excellent. Very good. All right. Well, then I guess we're in pretty good shape to just keep in touch if you have any questions or anything you need from us. Does anyone have any questions or comments? No? All right. Sweet. We did this. Is this under a half hour? Not quite that. Not wasn't quite
I'm
under
so
half
glad
hour.
I got on time too. It worked out.
So I guess I will be, if everybody feels comfortable, then I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
All right. Motion made by Ms. Raymond. I'll second. Ms. Raymond, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Ms. Thiem? I think she can hear us, but we can't hear her. So
That's the case.
I have a feeling that she would be okay with it. And I will vote yes. So motion passes and we are adjourned at 11:48.
Have a great
So-
day, everybody.